This image is all about a lightning strike. Oh yeah. Atmosphere. You've got to love a bit of atmosphere. If you think you're not that good at taking photographs of trees, here's the best tip for you. Stop taking photographs of trees. Earlier on today, we had quite dense fog around here, and I was out with the camera doing some other video work. I don't know whether this one's going out before it or not. Doesn't much matter. The other one is about seeking out shapes and textures and such, and I'm using the fog to help isolate things, to kind of focus a little more. A lot of it's cleared away now. That's not a problem, because it hasn't all gone, and the sun is giving us a lovely view of an area here, and I'm working with still the 9mm that I had on earlier. This isn't so much a video about that lens. It's it's very much a video about just capturing what's there, and what I have at the moment is just this 9mm, which I'm enjoying using a lot, I have to say, it's giving me joy. It's an entirely manual lens, and I've got loads of others in the PG Winecheck backpack here. Again, still not reviewed this, but I will comment further on it perhaps a little later. And this is really just working on this beautiful S-curve that goes through here. F8 infinity focus. It's little more than a snap, but it's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So I've moved the gear down to the next tree, and if I take you down here, I hope you'll be able to see what it is that's attracting me to this environment here. So you can see, here's the camera, and the view here, same but different, if you like. What's working beautifully here is the light. It's the light that's really getting me. It's the light that's hitting that tree there. I mean, isn't that wonderful? And the way it's just sculpting there. I am troubled a little bit because I am getting this tree in, or at least on the side of it, and my exposure isn't perfect on that, so it's a little on the dark side. But again, down in this corner, I'm getting some sculpting of light, and I'm not sure is the honest answer to this. I'm thinking I can probably pull the shadow of this tree up a little bit in post, but I am wondering whether I would be better to do another shot of it, and perhaps just do a bit of a kind of manual merge. Not sure yet. I'll let you know in the commentary over the image. It is just a single image with some dodging and burning. I've got to say that I'm pleased that I got here 15 minutes ago, because somebody's just decided to park right in what is effectively a parking place down there. Great stuff. I was trying to frame up something to do with these bracket mushrooms on this log here. Beautiful though it is, kind of struggling to see anything that works well in the background of it. Yeah, you kind of want something like that as a foreground, but the immediate kind of midground is just lost, and I couldn't make it work. Have I missed a trick? So I'll be honest, I thought I was being too clever by half when I was just wandering and I found these lovely, what are they? They're copper beech leaves that are just kind of sat there. I'm not even certain they're copper beech, but they are beech. They're beautiful. The coloration is just magical. And I've got an image that's even more kind of amazing. That, you know, these things, when you bathe them in a little bit more warm light, darken down the background and expose really for the light, then yeah, I've got to be honest, it's a wonderful image that I've got here. I mean, whether it's a great photo is another matter, but just in terms of the study of nature and what we've got, I really like it. I think I can probably hone it more, because at the minute I'm capturing probably a little bit too much sky. You can kind of see there. It's well, I don't know whether you can, but anyway, it's a little bit too much sky. But I think perhaps I'll work on it a little bit more, get that position better, and cut that sky down, get the background even darker, and yeah, here it is. Before I move off, I'm going to just mention the backpack. I've been carrying this for last few videos. It's the PG Tech 1 Mo 2 25 litre version. It's available in other sizes as well. One of the big selling points of the backpack is it actually comes with an interior bag. That bag can come out and then be used as a shoulder bag as well, which is really very, very useful. And I've actually been using the shoulder bag. I was using it last night wandering around Chroma, because all I really wanted was a very small selection of kit. It's brilliant for that, great for street photography and such. The backpack, I've got nothing bad to say about the backpack, except it's not working for me brilliantly at the minute. I think partly that is because I'm far more used to having a backpack that I can just kind of sling over my shoulder or over one shoulder and then get things out on either side. And you can still do that with this. It's just that I'm struggling to make things work in the backpack, largely because I'm running Micro Four Thirds, and that gear is relatively small comparatively so. So I'm finding it just not fitting as snugly as I might like, but I think this might just be down to me. More on it another time, I think. But yeah, if you're interested, links down below. It's going to work for a lot of people. Not working for me perfectly just yet, but I'm going to persevere because it should work. I'm going to make it work. Well, I think that image came out rather nicely. Off to find something else. Now, in a recent comment from Artie Lee, check out his channel. I'll leave a link down in the description if I remember. If I don't, I'm sorry, Artie. Anyway, Artie said that he envied my ability to take woodland photographs because he wasn't that good at it. Well, I think he's not that bad. But anyway, the point is, if you think you're not that good at taking photographs of trees, here's the best tip for you. Stop taking photographs of trees. It seems silly, doesn't it? But it's what you're looking for in a place like this is shape, I think. And if you want to, take. I'm by no means saying this is a good photo, because it probably isn't. But what I'm looking at here is strong shape. I'm I've got what, three pine trees here. Hold on, there we go, 3 pine trees. 1, 2, 3, actually, I'm not sure they are all pine, but anyway, they're really strong shapes, and they're just kind of just sticking up. And I was taken by just the shape of it. The big gap in the canopy up there. There's this really bendy branch that comes out kind of midway through the frame here, and lots of sky, anything but perfect. But I kind of just like it. But one of the things you need to be careful with woodland images, a lot of images of course, is you need some kind of grounding. So at the bottom I've got this fallen trunk coming through down here. God, I'm impressed that I actually managed to get my arm on that and indicate where it was without flapping around like I normally do. Anyway, so we've kind of got that. We've got these kind of sticks, twiggly sticks coming up the top of it. I'm really describing this, aren't I? And it's it's quite a strong image. It's by no means perfect, but yeah, look for shapes. It's always important to keep your eyes open, of course. Kind of know what you're looking for. If you follow Simon Booth at all, you'll absolutely recognise this camera angle. What I've got is a lovely isolated little bit of lichen on a twig, something like that. It fluoresces, it's a really kind of bright turquoise colour in the undergrowth down here. It's working really rather nicely for me. I've got a couple of images. I'm focus stacking it in camera. You can see maybe a metre from the subject itself. F9. I just want to make sure it's all sharp, but also the light's kind of coming and going, and for the first shot I kind of stood in the way to shade it from the light, not because there was a great deal of it, it's just because it was just that little bit perhaps too hot. You know, it wasn't the way of controlling it was more to stand in the way. But then I went and got my what is this? It's an MC20, I think, from June, and it's a lovely little portable light I carry with me, 20 watts. It's really bloody bright, and works very well. And you can see it's got these barn doors on it, so we can shape the light. So I've just given it a little bit of really kind of warm colour from a distance, not too harsh, just to really bathe it a little bit, and that's what, about 2600K. So yeah, hope you like the image. Well, it's come to that part of the video where I have an announcement. I've got holly up my bum. It's quite uncomfortable. It's not the first time in my life I've felt a little prick. Anyway, enough of the hilarity. I have I've got to get out because it is irritating. I've got this massive tree, X-tree. Actually, is a dead tree an X-tree? I don't know. Is it just wood now? Answers on a postcard. Anyway, back to the wide angle here. You can probably see why. And I'm just kind of taken by this massive mess. Of course, it's not a mess. It's it's a bit chaotic, but there's lines everywhere. There's a real tangle to it, and I really kind of like it. I mean, it's probably not the greatest image ever, but I've been looking for something that's got some kind of flow through it, and this kind of just stood out to me. So I thought, well, we'll kind of give it a go. Now remember, you might see a bit of a chaotic mess here, but actually, look harder. Every single one of these lines can be traced all the way around the image. It basically stops your eye from leaving the frame. Same fallen tree, different position, entirely different image. But again, it's quite a nice one. You can see how this tree has kind of dissected itself over here. Two trunks originally, kind of coming across, and it's really rather nice. There's a little bit of glare coming over here because the sun's up the top there, so I've tried it with a polarizing filter, but of course on such a wide angle lens such as this, there's no way of mounting it. There isn't even a filter thread on this lens, for probably obvious reasons. So I'm just kind of holding it in place here while I take the shot and desperately trying to keep my fingers out of it. This image is all about a lightning strike. The sun's not quite in the right place for it, which is a shame. But the branch itself, this fallen branch, actually I don't even know where it's from. It doesn't appear to be what I think is a silver birch here, but that might just be lichen, just call the whole thing moss. And it might just be that on it, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's got that really beautiful structural contrast to it, and I've got a couple of positions for it, and I'm really kind of liking it. And it's probably my last image on camera from here, because I just had a phone call and I need to go back. But yeah, shapes. If you learn nothing else about woodland photography, look for shapes.